my mother, you know, she had no idea. Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Tony, and today's video is a little bit, I guess, more serious. Obviously with the title, you guys can tell kind of what this video is about. And it's a video that I've been kind of contemplating making literally for the past, like, 5 years or so. Like, it obviously, as the title reads, guys, or I don't know exactly what I'm gonna name this video, but I am transgender, and it feels amazing to be able to say that to you guys, because this YouTube channel has been a part of my life literally for the past almost 10 years, and I partially feel like I haven't been honest with you guys, and that's literally why our channel has gone up and down, and it's gone through turmoils and so much. And the reason for that, sorry that I'm not looking at the camera, guys, I'm just so, like, I don't know, it's so exciting to say it out to you guys, but I feel like I'm talking to a friend, and sometimes when you talk to a friend, you kind of just, you know, you kind of look down to the floor. I want to share every little bit of this with you guys. Alright guys, so it's true, I am transgender, and it is so wild, like I said, to say all this to you guys, because I've been keeping it a secret, and I don't know how to start this video out, because there's like nothing that you can say besides, like, that's the cat that's out of the bag. Like, I'm out there and I'm ready to tell you guys and share this with you guys. And I guess I'll go back to kind of like, I've always known, it's kind of like, even when I identified as a gay man, like, I just knew, I always knew, guys. And now looking back at my childhood, like, I understand so many more things about who I am, so many more, like, moments in my life and nights when I would have anxiety, and I would sit there and think to myself, like, why can't I just have a zipper in the back of my head, take this costume off that I'm wearing, and be who I want to be. I don't know if you ever felt that way, but that's literally how I felt so many nights as a child, like in elementary school, literally sitting in my bathroom just wondering what it was, why I felt this way. And I never understood it until I got a little bit older, and, like, for example, Gigi obviously came out, and I remember telling a friend about that, and they were like, oh, you're probably going through a phase. I was like 20, 19, 20 were the years where I started to really explore the quote-unquote the gay world, the gay scene, like all of that stuff. I just started to you know, go to clubs. I would go to Tiger Heat, I would go to Hollywood, and, like, there's so many interesting people that just kind of, like, you're like, oh my god, who are these people? Like, it was such an amazing world, and it's such an amazing time in my life where I got to meet different glamorous people of the world. And Gaga had just launched at the time, and, like, she was so open about, like, you know, be who you are, and that's truly who made me one of the people who made me want to, like, be me and, like, just explore everything that my life had to offer. However, coming out as a gay man, I came out as a gay man when my grandmother passed away when I was like 19, 20, like fully, to, like, everybody, I mean, everybody always knew. And I was scared. I literally was so scared that everybody in my family would disown me and that they would hate me for who I was. And it was very scary. It was the same way as coming out now. Like, it was scary to me. However, when I came out to my parents, then they were so supportive, in the sense that they were like, okay, well, your brother's gay, so we're already there, there's nothing else we can do. So that was well for me. That went great. I lived many years. I explored that lifestyle, but I always wondered, like, why this is, mind you guys, this is before now, like, boys wear makeup. I wanted to wear makeup. I wanted to wear women's clothes. I remember, like, when my parents were out of, like, town, or they were at work in the summer, I would go to my mom's bathroom, and, like, she used to have, like, so much makeup, and I would just put it on, and, like, crazy. Like, I just think of that, and I think it's such a long distant memory, but I remember doing those things, and I was like, little straight boys don't do this. Like, what am I doing? Anyways, so back to track. About when I was 22, I was like, you know what, I have to fulfill this, I have to do this, I have to, like, follow that dream, I have to go after that, and I have to pursue it, I have to understand it. So I remember that I told my best friend, one night after work. Like, we had gone to work and I got super drunk at work. Mind you guys, all this kind of leads back to my drinking back in the day. I don't drink as much. I still drink and have a good time with my friends, but I don't drink as much as I think I was drinking during that period in my life. And I remember one night I got super drunk and I told her, I was like, I don't think I'm a boy. Like, I've always felt like a woman. And she goes, we should reach out to a friend. I tried reaching out to this friend, never responded to me, never wrote back to me. So I kind of let that go for a little bit, until like, and it's funny, like, me and my cousin, like, my cousin used to be my model for YouTube, and her and I had a little falling out. And when we had our falling out, like, I had nobody to do makeup on, if that makes sense. Like, she used to be the girl whose makeup I would do, whose hair I would do, who I would dress her, and it was kind of like, I don't want to say fulfilling my fantasy, but it was cool to, like, I was getting to have a doll, if that makes sense. And we got in an argument. We didn't talk for like 2 years, and when that happened is when I started to kind of play with makeup more, and I'll put clips and stuff so you guys can see. That's when I started like wearing more makeup, and companies started reaching out to me and they wanted to send me wigs. And I remember, like, when I got my first wig, it was from uniwigs.com, and they were like amazing. They sent me a wig, and I remember I put it on and I was just like, oh my god, like, this is what it's like to have long hair. Like, I remember as a kid, like, my mom, you know, and I don't blame them because they didn't know. My mom would take me to go get haircuts, and like, I have pictures and I'll try to find them so I can share them with you guys. And my hair would get to a certain point and I was like, oh my god, my hair's getting long, and they would cut it off. And I remember, like, sitting in that chair so angry because they were cutting off all of my hair. I didn't want to cut my hair like that. I wanted long hair, and they were not, well, forcing me technically, but without them knowing that that I was going through these issues. And my mother, you know, she had no idea. Alright guys, so let's fast forward to me being 24. Between the ages of like 23, around that time in my life, I met a boy who, like, I wrapped myself really into this person, and it made me feel whole, if that makes sense. So I kind of pushed aside the whole transgender issue. And then I remember we ended things, and I told him, I said, there's a lot coming. And at that time, I was like 24, and I told myself, you are going to go after this. You are going to chase that, and you are going to fulfill that for yourself. And I started pushing it away. I threw myself into so much work, guys. I literally was working 2 jobs, trying to do YouTube videos, trying to keep up a social life, partying, going out, drinking, and all of that. And I was doing that because I was trying to suppress this whole issue of, like, you are trans, you are dealing with this whole identity crisis. And there was one night, I don't remember, I think it was a friend of mine's birthday, and like, I told one of my really good friends, I was like, I got super drunk, and I came out to her and I was like, girl, like, I just don't identify as this. And I remember crying, and at this point I hadn't cried in like about 2 years because I was just emotionally, like, so drained by other things. And she was like, I've always seen you as a woman, and I knew it. She's like, I knew it, and it's okay. She goes, you have to follow that. So from then on, I decided that I was gonna go and chase that dream. So those steps that I took, guys, everybody's different. Everybody's gonna go about it completely different. I looked up trans groups everywhere that I could find one, and I found a place in Long Beach. I went to the little, like, the trans meeting stuff. Did get to meet the person that kind of guided me to where I needed to go, and this person was Chaz, and Chaz was amazing. He was this beautiful female to male male, and he was just like gorgeous and so nice and so sweet. And he came up to me after the end of it and was like, here's the information, here's my number, if you ever need anything, shoot me a text. So I said thank you. I ignored basically the whole situation for about a week or 2, and right around that time when he gave me the information, I called him at an appointment, didn't show up, canceled that appointment, and then I came out to another friend of mine who's my sister, and I love him so much. And when I mean sister, he's actually a boy, like, he's a gay man, so it's, sorry if that confuses you guys, but he was like, sister, I want to be there with you, and I want to go with you, and I will, like, sit at the appointment chair with you. And it was really nice to have that support system, because he was, so my friend Fernando was like, I want to go with you, and he went with me. We went to this doctor in LA who and I'm gonna pick him up because he's gonna go with me to the St. John's trans thing. Like, this is so crazy to me. So fucking nervous because I feel like I should have told my parents, like, knowing me, I don't like. So we went to the trans doctor that was in LA, and we met, we spoke, we decided to proceed forward with everything. And like I said, guys, everybody's going to do everything very differently. This is just the way that it went for me. We spoke for a while. He asked me how I felt, how long I'd been feeling, all of these things. And then finally we decided that we wanted to move forward. And it was scary. Like, I was like, damn, like, this is so much at once. They were like, we can change your name in 2 months. Like, what do you need? And I was just like, whoa, give me a moment. Like, calm down. I got the prescription. I did not start taking the hormones or anything right away. I kind of waited about almost 2-3 weeks, and then I decided to start taking them. But the day that I went to the doctor, I came home and I knew that I had to tell my mom and dad. So this day that this all took place, I remember that I came home and I was like just raging of emotions because I had no idea how I was going to tell my mom and dad. I didn't want to start something without telling them. So I remember that I don't know if you guys do this where you kind of pace back and forth like in your mom's room, and they just kind of know that like something's up because they're like, why are you pacing in the room? Like, why are you trying to like talk to me, if that makes sense? So I remember that my mom was working on something in the kitchen, and I remember kneeling down next to my mom and telling her just like, Mom, like, I need to talk to you about something. And she was like, what's going on? And I just remember I was like, Mom, like, I need to tell you something. I went to the doctor, and she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, like, I'm totally fine, everything's okay. And I just remember that I said, Mom, I've always felt like a woman. Like, I was like, Mom, I've always just felt this inside my heart since I was a child. Like, I'm so sorry. And she looked at me, and we literally just, I remember that we just started to cry. Like, I had not cried like that in such a long time. Like, I started crying and crying, and she's like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm sorry. And like, I go and I was like, I went to the doctor, and they want to start me on hormones, and they want to start all that. And I was like, Mom, I understand that it's crazy and it's hard, and I go and understand that you may not understand it fully. I go, but all I want from you is to be supportive and just be there for me. The same way that you've been there for me before, the same way that you've been there for all of my brothers throughout everything that they've done in their lives. And she was like, she just stared at me, she said, okay, like, that's fine, like, we are going to be there for you no matter what it is. Like, we are your parents, we are going to be there for you. Which was very, I mean, it felt amazing because I was like, luckily, and I had felt so blessed that they were supportive, even if they didn't understand it. Because it's just like, be supportive, Mom, like, be understanding of like who that is, you know. And I'm not going to sit here and say that that was easy. It wasn't. I remember that she asked me, she goes, do you want me to tell your dad? And I said, please, like, if you can tell my dad, because I clearly cannot tell my dad. And my mom goes, okay. So later on that night, my mom came into my room, and I hugged her and I cried a little bit, and she told me, she goes, okay, I told your dad. And your dad just, you know, we just want you to be safe. We want you to be healthy because you're going to be taking all these medication, and we do not want you to go through, like, we don't want anything bad to happen to you, if that makes sense. I said, no, Mom, I understand. And that night, you guys, I cried so much. And I laid in bed and I cried for like forever. Like, I literally just cried. And I remember I wrote something down, and I want to read it to you guys because I wrote this. My emotions are running wild. I spent the last 2 hours crying. I finally told my mom how I feel. We both cried, and she told me that. She told my dad, he is sad. I think they're both super supportive, but they're just scared the same way that I am. I hope this choice is right. And it took me a long time, guys, like to really accept all of this of who I am. And I know this video is probably going to be a little bit all over the place, and that's just because I'm trying to understand how to let you guys know what's in my heart. And this is the truth. Like, this is it. And like, I am someone who, I want to share this with you guys. I want to share all of it with you in any way that I can. I want to help you guys the same way that so many others have helped me. And this is the beginning of my journey. I've only been on this journey for about 8 months, hormone wise, and exploring more, wearing women's clothes out and things like that, like, because it's scary. But I want to share it with you guys. I want to share my friends, my family. I want to share it all with you guys, and I want to bring you along with, I want you guys to come with me, and I want you guys to see all that. And I want to share like love and like things like relationships and just everything with you guys. And I don't know where we're gonna be in a year, but I wasn't here a year ago, so you know, it's crazy. And one thing that I want to start to stress so much on this YouTube channel is that everything we want, guys, is literally on the other side of fear. And believe me, I try to remind myself that every single day, because there's days when I'm scared. Like, my friend is always like, when are you gonna wear a wig out? And I'm like, I don't know, like, I still get nervous. But when I do decide to just wear a wig full on out, guys, like, I want to bring you guys along with me, because at the end of the day, the ones that have stuck here with you, the ones that you guys that have stuck with me from the beginning of YouTube, of me like not even know how to blend eyeshadow at the beginning of my YouTube career, like, you, a lot of you are still here, and I want to thank all of you who's in my heart, in my life, to you guys. Literally, like, I feel like now that I'm being honest with you guys, we can thrive as a community, and you guys and girls as part of me from now on. This is, this is like the most honest I think I've ever been on the internet. And now that I've came out to you guys, I also came out on my Instagram. I want to read that post. This is that post. You guys can go check it out. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, Snapchat. Either of those are the ones that I use the most. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, because we are going to take a journey together. And leave your questions down below. I don't know if you guys have any. If you're new to here, welcome. I'm going to embrace all of you. I hope you guys embrace me and everything that I have to offer to you guys, because we are going to be a bad bitch when we're done. Alright guys,